For the personal profile form, it's a really basic form. This is going to help you get some pre work done for the resumes that we're going to build. So, down here past the videos for setting up the website, you'll see the resume planning work. What you're going to do is you're going to open up this personal profile. This sheet here, you're just going to fill out. Now, this one, it won't be public, it'll just go to me so you can actually fill out your actual information. We'll talk about how to modify this when we actually build your resume that you'll post publicly. I just don't want people to come hunt you down and find you at your house or anything. So we'll modify the stuff. But for now, go ahead and put your real information in here. You're going to fill this out. It's kind of like a job application. First, last name, first and last, middle name. Where do you live? Phone number, email address. You want to make sure that the email address that you use is a professional email address. So if you do not have a professional one, like if you got Pokemon Chaser, probably not the one you want to put on a resume. I would go ahead and create a professional one, Google or some other thing that does not include things like that. And then for some, you may not have had any work before, but you may have done some volunteer work. So some of the things that it's been a challenge for some students is figuring out, well, I haven't really done anything. Well, we might be able to work out ways that you would have built up what are known as transferable skills. But for now, you're going to fill this out and figure out if you have worked for somebody, type the information in. If you need more than what's here, just copy a blank one and paste it into the next spot. Then school information, vocational courses. This is one I get a lot of students ask me questions. A vocation is a job. So basically, like this class could be listed as a vocational course. Anything that's directly, immediately related to a job. Theater could potentially be a course. Engineering, a lot of times they're more of the electives as opposed to like math. Although, yeah, you could make an argument, well, no, math teacher, that's a job. You could put that in there. But the subjects, what I would list under subjects is any special classes that you've taken, ones that weren't required. Because if you just put down English, it's like, well, so what? Everybody took English. But if you had, like a higher level class, maybe you had an honors English, maybe that might be worth mentioning. But if it was just a straight English, I wouldn't mention it. So with the subjects, I would list any specialized classes that you've taken. And for vocation courses, those would be ones that would be directly related to a job. If you happen to put the wrong thing in the wrong spot, it's not a big deal because we're going to be able to talk about how to use these to flesh out some possible skills you may have had. Extracurricular would be listing anything that you've done outside of the classroom but related to the school. So what I mean by that is that could be clubs that you're in. It could be sports that you're in. It could be if you've worked in the student store, that could be there. If you were on any of the school committees like the SSC or governance, that could be listed. Now, again, if you don't have anything, you just don't list anything for now. Then in the other, you start to think about what kind of community service have you done? Have you done anything related to community service? Have you received any awards or any honors? What are things that you're interested in? What are some of the hobbies that you have that may be able to show off some of the skills that you might have had? Are there clubs or organizations outside of school that you're involved with? Go ahead and list those. And then marketable skills. What are some skills or things that you have that you think other people would be impressed by? So we'll talk more about how to flesh that part out on the actual resume, especially if you're stuck and trying to figure out, like, what the heck do I have? I don't know, list it. And if it's not something that we really want to address, not a big deal. It might be something we could use in an interview. Then this part, this is the main part that's going to take some work. The more effort you put into this area, the easier it's going to be to help you flesh out your resume. So what I want you to do is list out any kind of work that you've done. Maybe you've done yard work. Maybe you've babysat. Maybe you helped out an uncle one day on a construction site. Whatever, anything you can think of, list it. Then any projects that you may have worked on that involve multiple people. It could even be a classroom type projects, things that you've done where you had to collaborate with multiple people. Write it out. It could be pretty much anything at this point. Then under each one of those, briefly describe what was it that you did. That area, the more you can flesh this part out, the better. So that is what you are going to work on as the pre-work for building your resume. So you'll complete and fill this out, and this is due by midnight. Now, in order to post the link, I don't want you to share the link with me. So I don't want you to go here. In fact, I'll wait a second. I don't want you to share it to my email address. What I would like you to do is go here where it says get link, and you're going to copy the link. Then when you go back to here and I don't have the thing set up. Give me a second. I have the assignment built. I just didn't link to it. There we go. So after you've completed the personal profile, you'll click submit here, and you'll upload the file. You'll upload that address here. So that is what you're going to be working on for the personal profile. And we're building up towards developing a resume. If you've developed or you have a resume from the past, go ahead and save it and show me, make a screenshot of it and show it to me. I'd love to see what you've made. If you've never made a resume before, no big deal. We're going to go through and do that, which I think will be useful for you in the future, or just knowing how to put one together, I think is really important.